Welcome to Life Mastery Decoded. I'm your host, Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. I have been studying mind mastery and emotional management and its connection to spirituality for over 25 years. In this podcast, I help guide you out of your daily struggles in life in the areas of health, wealth, relationships, and spirituality. Life is hard, but your daily growth doesn't have to be. Join me 3 times a week as I lead you inward on a healing, creating, and connecting journey. Let's go get the nugget of inspiration. Hey ladies, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to today's episode where I hope I am finding you in the new year manifesting your goals with ease. Now, if you are not manifesting your goals with ease, then it is my intention that in today's episode I give you just one nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. You know, I have been studying the law of attraction and meditation and chakras and energy work for years and years and years. And I have uncovered through my last probably 6 months or so of further research. Because remember, I go out and find the tools, I do the research, I do the reading and the studying and the courses and the articles to find what other people are saying that is working for them to manifest things. And then I practice them. And if they work, then I talk about them. And if they don't, I move on. So I want to talk about something that is working, because I want you to be able to manifest the things that you want. Because here we are at the new year. Everybody is setting New Year's resolutions. And about 80% of you, which is 8 out of 10 of you, will not achieve your goals. So you're standing here going, Jen, wait a second. I thought this was supposed to be an inspirational podcast. You're not inspiring me if I'm going to be one of the 8 people who does not reach my goals. I'm saying that is just a fact because, and I'll tell you why, they don't know how to use all of the faculties of your body and your mind and your thinking and your emotions. We try to do that separately, meaning we think about our goal, but then we don't actually feel into our goal. We use words that allow us to talk about our goal, but we don't actually put it through all of the pieces of the puzzle. We don't put it through the whole process. That's like taking a recipe that uses 10 ingredients and leaving 4 of the ingredients out. You are not going to bake the cake that anyone is going to want to eat. I guarantee you. That's why you're not manifesting. Now, let me explain further. There is a process of working with energy. And it is a beautiful, wonderful process because once you start doing it, once you start getting in there and you start working at this energy level, which you will hear me say probably in every single podcast, work at the energy level and your life will shift so quickly you will think you are dropping off the roller coaster on, the high dive, whatever that first part is where it creaks to the top and then whoo, that's what your life is going to feel like in a good way. You are going to be moved quickly into the flow. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if that doesn't make sense to you, I don't know what the flow is, then you're not in it and you've not been in it. But I'm going to help you get there with this podcast. So welcome to the new year. Welcome to you stepping into the new person that you're going to be. First of all, you're going to need to get your journals. So if you haven't gotten your journal yet, please pause this episode, go get your journal, and then join me back here. I'm going to be sharing with you some pretty powerful techniques. Now, I also want to tell you that my whole game plan is to have simple yet powerful tools, techniques, methods, frameworks. I go through the hard stuff. I read and I, learn and study the hard stuff so I can bring you the easy stuff because I want you to reach your goals at lightning speed with as little over-the-top effort because manifesting is effortless. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of, I want to say like definitions, but I'm going to explain a couple of things first before we get into the actual process. So there are a couple of different thinking faculties. And when I say faculties, it's like your, the way you do something, your faculties, like you can use them, like your thinking is a faculty, feeling is a faculty. So it's an old school term. I read a lot of really old books when it comes to manifesting and meditation and stuff. And they use the word faculty, and I kind of like it. So I use it. But when I say that, like your thinking faculties, it's like the way you do things, your perception, conception, all of those are called faculties. So like tools, I guess. But I use tools so often. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so there are a couple of different ways that you think, right? There's this thinking part of you right now that's listening to this podcast. There's that part of your thinking is hopeful. It sifts through information and experiences. And then there's that part of you that's the deciding factor that says, yes, I like this thing and I want more of it. Or no, I don't like this thing and I want less of it. And then there's the neutrality part. That's all part of the same thinking faculty, okay? And that's this alert, awake part of you. But it's also the stronger part of you, as in it's the conscious awareness. It's what you are conscious of. As you are, if you stop and you just kind of go, snap your fingers, it kind of wakes you up and you're like, okay, I am thinking of this podcast. I am listening to Jen Mack talk. I am feeling I'm like thinking about my back pain. I am thinking about so that's part of the thinking, okay? Now, the language of that part of your thinking is your words. And when you're thinking, you think in words and symbols, okay, that then move to the next part of your thinking, which is your subconscious mind, your emotional faculty. Now, I say emotional because your subconscious mind's language is emotion. Now, why is this important? Well, this is the reason why affirmations don't work. What are affirmations? They're words. What are words? It's your thinking, okay? Affirmations repeated over and over and over again don't create the emotional strength that is the more magnetic part of you, your subconscious mind, which is the bigger, more powerful part of you that gets shit done. That is the part that gets you up in the morning to go pee and brush your teeth and eat breakfast on this habitual state. That's the part of you that drives you to work, where you get there and you're like, wow, I don't even remember the drive. That's the more powerful part of you. That's the part that goes kind of to sleep. That is the underlying unconscious part of you. You're not always aware of what that is doing. It's behavior, it's emotional, it's habitual, it's our belief system. So now picture these two faculties. The thinking is like the little boss. And I sometimes reference the book, The Ant and the Elephant. And that could very well be the part of you that is like, that's the ant, that's the woke up, that's the part that's aware when you're conscious, when you're awake. Like if you like clap your hands really fast in front of you, that's the part that is aware of that clapping of the hands. When you just get up and start moving and you're kind of sleepwalking through, you're making dinner and it's a dinner that you've made 1,000 times, that's the unconscious part of you. That's the subconscious part of you. Okay, there's two different ways of communication. And this is where our manifesting splits. Now, this is really important. So I would say the ant is the thinking part. The elephant, picture an elephant. They're huge. That is the subconscious part. And all of those things are stored there. Okay? The ant is the part that wants something different and says, okay, I want to have this life of abundance and prosperity and deep connections and great relationships, and I want a bigger house and a nicer car. That's the ant. The elephant is like, I don't really care. You just have to tell me what you want, but you have to communicate in my language. Okay? What is the language of the subconscious mind? Emotions. What is the language of the ant, the thinking mind? Words and symbols. So if I'm saying a bunch of affirmations over and over again, and it's just redundant, and I could literally say it 180,000 times, but what's the piece that's missing as to why those affirmations don't work? What's the piece that's missing when I'm repeating, I'm thin and fit, I'm rich and prosperous, I'm loving and kind? What is the part that's missing? It's the emotional part. You're not going to get that elephant to move. Okay? That elephant isn't going to move based on just your words and your talking alone. So you have to communicate to the elephant in a way that the elephant understands through your emotions. So, are you catching on to the big, there's going to be a couple of big ahas in here, and I want you to be ready for them. The first one is you have to use the words that create an emotional state in the body. When you are creating an emotional state in the body, now you're communicating with the elephant. Okay? Moving on to the next step. Well, sort of. This is in my definitions. But the next part is words alone. We don't always think in words. If you say, I want to go to the grocery store to get chicken, milk, and butter, you are not thinking of the words chicken as in CHICKEN. You are actually thinking of the chicken that gives you an image in your head. And it's probably the end image. It's probably the end result. I'm going to barbecue chicken on the grill. Or I'm going to make a rotisserie chicken on my new rotisserie cooker at home. Or I'm going to make some lemon peppered baked chicken breasts in the oven. Okay? You're thinking of the end result. Nobody wants raw chicken. We buy raw chicken because we're going to do something with it, because the end result is something delicious and lovely and amazing. Okay? So when you are thinking of the thing you want, and it doesn't matter what the thing is, this is where you're going to start using your journal right here. When you're thinking of the thing that you want, there's several steps to creating that communication between your thinking mind and your physical mind, which is your body. It's the communication between the ant and the elephant. And if you've not read that book, please go get it. It's a very short read, very, very powerful. I love the analogy. I use it all the time. I recommend that book all the time. It's The Ant and the Elephant. And let me go over here to my library and I will find, you know what? That book might be upstairs. Oh, no, it's right here. I got it. 1 second. It's on the top shelf. I want a library so big that I have a ladder that I have to get to the top shelf. Oh, yeah. I don't know how to say his last name, but it's The Ant and the Elephant, and it's by Vince Pacente. I'm not sure how to say his last name, but it's P as in Paul, O-S-C as in cat, E-N-T-E. And it's a very short read. It's a fantastic book. It really, really, really gives a lot of, it's 110 pages. You could read that in, half an afternoon. But you're going to understand my analogy much better. Okay. So the first thing you need to do is figure out what it is that you want. Okay. So if let's say you want to lose weight, you need to be very specific. Now, in the specific, so just like the grocery store, I want to go get groceries. Okay. That's very broad. What are you going to get? I'm going to get this, 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 and this. And there's a result. There's a bigger image. There's an end result. I want these things. Sorry, I have like the hiccups now. Do the hiccups during a podcast, you guys. I want these things because I'm going to create this thing. Okay, so here's the first piece of work. You are going through this 3D reality, sifting through experiences and information and relationships and people and things and material stuff. And as you are doing that, you are finding what you like and what you don't like, what you want and what you don't want. And let's say you don't have any money. Your bank account is always empty. Your bank account is always empty. In that space, in that 3D world, I don't have money, so therefore I want more money. Now, you have to be specific. And in the specificity, you have to, how much money do you want? And go even further. Why do I want this money? And not because I can buy more things. Okay, keep going. And I'm going to recommend, if you really truly want to manifest change in your life, and you really truly want to start shifting things, you could do this in as little as, I'm not joking, 7 days. And in those 7 days, I'm going to give you the process of what you're going to do to bring about. And don't think for a second that I'm blowing a bunch of smoke up your butt, because I am huge advocate for being a creator. I'm a huge advocate for empowering women to create the lives that they want to live. Because I'll tell you, the life that I had that was, 15, 18, 25 years ago was a life that I didn't want to live in. I was really sick and tired. So when I started realizing that there was anything out in the world that sounded sort of like I could be in the driver's seat, I was all about it. And I want you to be all about it too. Okay, so first figure out what it is that you want, and then figure out why you want it. So you say, okay, I want more money. And I go, why do you want more money? And I say, and you say, because I want to buy more things. And I say, now here's number 2. We're going to do this 7 times. And in that 7 times of asking this question, I'm going to show you again. In that 7 times of asking this question back and forth with you, and you do this with yourself or in your journal, you're going to actually get to the bottom of the real reason why you want the thing. And that's what you need. You need to uncover all the way to the bottom. What is it that you want? Okay. So I want more money. Why do you want more money? Because I want to buy more things. Okay. That's number 2. Why do you want to buy more things? Because I like the feeling of shopping. Okay. Why do you like the feeling of shopping? Because it makes me feel, because it's fun for me. Okay. Why is it fun for you? That's number 5. You just keep asking why. Why is it fun for you? Oh, I don't know. It's just there's lots of different things to look for and to shop for, and there's lots of things to buy, and I could buy online or I could go out in person. Okay, why do you want to do that? Because it gives me this sense of freedom. And why do you want that freedom? Because it makes me feel alive. Bam. That was not scripted at all. My podcasts are not scripted. I want you to know that. I literally plug in, decide my topic, figure out my little bullet points of what I'm going to talk about, and I immediately push record and say, hey ladies, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Okay? I don't want you to think, I literally just did that just now. And I will tell you what, I could feel this energy explosion in my solar plexus, which is where you want it, in my solar plexus, which is just above your belly button, of this excitement, because I got all the way to the bottom of that. And it excited me because I want to feel alive. Now, what you're doing, back to my analogy with the ant and the elephant just opened its eyes and goes, hey, I felt that. You want to feel alive. Because the first 6 times of asking that question, the elephant is like standing there waiting for your command, but you have to speak its language. Are you with me? This sounds pretty powerful so far, doesn't it? It's pretty amazing. Okay. The elephant's now woke up. Because the elephant could feel. You just communicated what you want to feel. That is the biggest part of the work. Keep asking the question until you get all the way down to the bottom of it and you feel a physical sensation in the body. If you don't feel a physical sensation in the body, you did something wrong or you didn't do it enough. Okay? So, now, once you get it to start feeling, then you create a visual scene. Now, I've talked about this in a lot of different podcasts. I think way back in the beginning in season 1, I did a podcast, season 1 or season 2, I did a podcast episode that's called The Art of Visualization. You can go check that out. There's another one that I believe is season 4 that is the power of your words, or what to say when you talk to yourself. That one is also extremely powerful to help you to use your words to create the emotional state. Because listen to what I'm about to tell you right now. It is in the emotional state that is the secret to creating the effortlessness of manifesting. It is in creating the emotional state. Okay, now we're going to keep going. I might even split this up into 2 episodes, but I'm going to keep going because this is some really, really powerful stuff. And I'm telling you, through personal experience, me and Amy are manifesting things like absolute crazy. And I'll tell you about the success of that in a second when we get to the uncovering the blocks. Okay, so first you figure out what it is you want. Then you ask yourself why you want it. 7 layers. This is why you're going to need your journal, and you can number 7. You can number 7 layers, 7 numbers down the side. Here's the thing I want. Why do I want it? And write that answer down. Why do I want that? Write your answer down on number 2. Why do I want that? Write it down on number 3 until you get all the way to number 7. Now, the end result. Don't just go to number 7. The end result is that I feel it in my body. I feel it in my body. Okay? You're going to find the power in the words through this activity. And this is absolutely step 1. You cannot skip this. What I don't want you to do is go, okay, that's really dumb. I'm not going to do that. It's too much work, or I can't answer the question, and I did it and it's over, and how come I'm not manifesting anything? Listen to me. If you can't get that elephant to understand through emotions what it is that you want, you will not manifest your thing. You will not. I guarantee you. I have tried for years and 1,000 years, trying it the old-fashioned way. Repeat your affirmation 1 billion times, right? It doesn't work, okay? Now, there's lots of techniques that also don't work. This one works. So, figure out what it is you want. Ask yourself why you want it 7 times until you get to that emotional state that you feel in your body. You all of a sudden get tears behind your eyes. You feel your heart chakra blow open. You feel some energy explosion in your solar plexus, or down deep in your gut, like in your sacral chakra, which is where joy and pleasure are. And you just feel alive. You just feel amazing. When you feel amazing, that's it. Write that down. Write those words down. Write that sentence down. And if you want to be a high achiever, record yourself talking about this. Because sometimes saying the words out loud not only keeps you focused, but it also creates a little bit more energy. Saying the words out loud, and you can feel it in your body. Okay? Thanks for listening. And if you made it to the end of this episode, then I'm really proud of you, because that tells me that you are dedicated to your own transformation. And if you're looking forward to other episodes, please send me a friend request on Facebook under Jen Mack and follow my page so you get notified as soon as another powerful episode drops. I try to get out 3 a week starting at 6 a.m. so you can start your day off right. And I try to focus on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 6 a.m. Also, if you're being inspired by my podcast, please share your opinion in a review so others can be inspired too. Keep going, growing, and transforming, and keep looking for those nuggets of inspiration. I'll see you next time.